grid, but just lost out. Now let's see what happened to Gordon.
It was Tom Chilton, I think, in the background. There he goes. He clips the curb, I think, on the inside, but that right rear is the coldest tyre on the car, and he was lucky that car didn't carry on and hit the barriers on his left-hand side, because that would have been a big accident. In the background, another car going off.
So let's see, this was coming into the complex, just behind my, oh, that was, I see, that was after, that was Tom Chilton's spin, the end of it. So that was up through Goodwood Corner, the quick right-hander, which just before that was where Tom spun. So he's dropped down the order. He's still in the race, though, is Tom Chilton, but obviously lost a lot of places. So up front, but not as up front as he should be, is Tom Onslow Cole, down in 5th place. It was not a great start for him. Jason Plato, by the way, well, he's still running, so he hasn't made up as much. Well, he's up to 14th place, actually, Plato, from the back. So that's not a bad effort from Jason. He's picked up a few places. Let's see if we get a chance to talk to Tom Onslow Cole. This is Ben in the commentary box to Tom. Tom, that start didn't quite go according to plan, did it, mate?
Yeah, you could say that. No, not ideal, but I think we've still got a good car, and hopefully we'll be able to make it back up from here. It's a long race yet.
It looked a bit tight through the complex, but you all managed to sort of just give each other enough room.
Yeah, definitely. There's obviously a lot of respect between all the drivers at the front, and everyone gave each other racing room, and we all came out. Clearly, obviously, not as I'd like to have come out of the complex, but still, it's racing.
Okay, well, good luck with the rest of it. And Tom Onslow Cole. Let's take another look at that start, Tim, if we get a chance. He's sitting in behind Matt Neal at the moment. There he is, running in 5th place, but it was a lot of wheel spin, wasn't it?
It was. It's very difficult. This is on board. You can hear the revs rise, the wheels are spinning, and from the left there you see Turkington and Giovanardi passed him within the space of 80 metres.
Yeah,
if we stay on board, he's obviously under pressure. I think he's got Matt Neal on his left-hand side. There goes Neal. That's how he got up to 3rd place. And on the right, there's Jackson. As you say, they're giving each other a little bit of room. Oh, that could have been nasty. That's what allowed Turner to get through as well. That little rub on Matt Neal. Through it all, Onslow Cole has managed to stay out of trouble. Would have been easy to have got impatient there and started bashing everyone around. But he stayed out of trouble, and he sounded very calm in the car. He knows it's a long race.
Jackson was the one to lose out there, wasn't he? Because for a moment it looked as though he was going to be up into 3rd, and in the end he's down in 6th place. Just one little moment like that, and if you pick the wrong side, there's a lot of luck involved. And there you are. We're still watching the replay there. That was the rest of that first lap. Tom Onslow Cole by now was into a bit of clear air and was watching the leaders up front. But remember, behind him, various cars were going off, and that's the reason that we're under safety car at the moment. Interesting, he uses the curb there. Yeah,
that curb, not a violent one. I did notice, and I was going to comment, at the end of the first lap, Giovanardi hit the second curb. If you watch ahead, Giovanardi locks up, and then bang, he hits that second curb. Interestingly, Neal in front and Onslow Cole missed that curb. Now, I mean, that could be, I could be jinxing him, but Giovanardi really shouldn't have hit that curb on the left-hand side there with that tyre. That's the one that will fail.
Damage on Stephen Jelly's Team RAC car, down in 8th place. You can see the damage to the front end. That was as a result of contact with Andrew Jordan that we saw in the run through the complex. Behind him is Stephen Kane running in 9th and Rob Collard in 10th. So both motorbase cars are potentially in the points here, and that would be good news. Gordon Shedden is currently in 12th place as well, and he also has got a bit of work to do. Let's just take another look at the start, this time from Gordon Shedden's point of view, starting from down in 13th place. So he got off the line reasonably well. He's got a couple of BMWs around him which are always fast away. And we might get to see what happened to the Jordans on this run up towards the complex as well.
Yeah, both the motorbase cars, that's Collard on the left and Kane on the right in front of him. The two Jordans all looking down the inside there.
Yeah, that was Andrew getting down the inside of Stephen Jelly.
And that's why Jelly went back at him. Andrew could maybe have given him a little bit more room there on the apex of the left-hander, but Jelly looked intent on getting back that place.
The two motorbase cars actually touched very lightly there. They sort of run into one another as they all anchored up on the brakes, but I don't think any damage was done.
No damage there, and Shedden gained a couple of places there, obviously. Chilton going off on the left, he gains another place.
Yeah, that was Tom Chilton spinning away on the outside of the track, but he has rejoined the fray once again. Andrew Jordan is actually still running in this race as well. Tom Chilton is running 21st, and the lights are out on the safety car, so we're going to be going racing at the end of this lap. Still a bit of a way to go around. We're only at the complex, so there's still 2/3 of the lap to go around before they're back up to racing speed. And it's Turkington, remember, in the BMW, ahead of Giovanardi in the Vauxhall, then Turner in the Seat, so 3 different makes of car up front. Then we've got another Vauxhall, so Mike Nicholson keeping a close eye on the Vauxhall progress here. They've got their cars 2nd, 4th and 5th currently. Not a bad effort at all. This Vectra does work extremely well on the fast sweeping curves at Thruxton. But they've got to watch out for Matt Jackson, who's running in 6th place in the BMW. Adam Jones in a strong 7th place in the Seat as well. He could be a little bit of a threat.
Yeah, interestingly, this safety car period would have given the guys a chance to get their tyre pressures up without having to run the risk of running the curb. So they would have got their pressures up. This could help Turkington a little bit on the restart, because remember, he took 8 laps to get really going in the first race. And it could, and Giovanardi, of course, running lighter than the first race, a prospect of a fascinating scrap between the two of them.
And then, of course, you've got the Seat of Darren Turner, and, well, Seat have got to try and beat Giovanardi one way or another. Jason Plato working his way up. He's in 14th place from the back. So this safety car period has helped Plato. Here we go. Safety car is heading back into the pit lane, and Turkington picks up the pace as they come out of the chicane. Good restart by the Northern Irishman, who pulls away a couple of lengths from Fabrizio Giovanardi immediately there, who's now chased by Darren Turner in that rapid Seat diesel turbo, who's in 3rd place. Behind them it's still Matt Neal, Tom Onslow Cole, then Matt Jackson, all pretty clean, and they're all a bit more spread out this time as they head towards the complex.
Yeah, very good restart, as you said. He got the jump, attacked the curbs over the chicane, made sure he straight-lined it and carried as much momentum as possible, because the best thing that can happen for Turkington is exactly that Darren Turner gets on the back of Giovanardi. But Giovanardi's been very quick through that Campbell-Cobb-Seagrave sequence of corners, and he's broken Darren Turner, although this is the section where Turner will close.
Through the left-hander at Noble, little wider line for Turkington than for Giovanardi. You see tiny variations in line which can make quite big differences in terms of ultimate speed. Behind Turner, watch out for Matt Neal, the double champion, could be on the attack with Jackson, Jones. You've got Jelly still running okay with that little bit of damage to the front. Will that affect the car much, Tim?
Well, this is a high-speed track. It is therefore the most aero-affected of all the tracks. The only benefit for him is on the right-hand side of the car, so most of the work for the cars on the aero has been done on the left, but it won't have a huge effect.
Giovanardi very close to the back of the BMW, turning into the chicane. Nothing that he can do to get alongside. A little bit of clipping curves. Turkington uses all the road out of the chicane. Across the line they come then. Racing continues. No more safety car, and Giovanardi still keeping the pressure on Turkington, with Darren Turner right behind him as well. Good stuff between the top 3. And then that little gap back to Matt Neal and Tom Onslow Cole. Here comes Darren Turner looking at the outside on the approach to the complex, but slotting in behind. He won't want to try and run around the outside just yet. Perhaps he'll save that for a little later in the race. Tom Onslow Cole under a bit of attack from both Matt Jackson and Adam Jones.
Yeah, expecting Adam Jones's car to be stronger, as it is in this first part of the race, as he increased the camber to work the car a little bit harder. He felt the car could get away with it.
Gordon Shedden up to 11th. Jason Plato up to 12th place. He's only 2 positions outside the points now. This is a good run from Plato. He's overtaken quite a few cars. He's been helped by incidents for some of those on that opening lap as well. But now, of course, with green flag racing, the leaders are easing away a little bit. And again, Giovanardi, look at him, kicking up the dust. Turkington a little wide through Church Corner. This could give the Vauxhall a better run up the Woodham Hill towards the chicane. He has to go to the outside. Turkington defends the inside. It'll be a battle on the brakes into the chicane, and Giovanardi's going for it. Turkington coming back at him, side by side into the chicane. Slight contact. Both shortcut the chicane, and it's Giovanardi taking the lead. What a manoeuvre by the Italian.
Well, that was hard and fair racing. Giovanardi had no option but to take the straight line across the chicane, because Turkington was leading on him. Turkington similarly had no option but to take the chicane, otherwise his car would have spun. Being rear-wheel drive, he can't hold the lock and recover it, so he had to follow him through. But I don't think any advantage gained.
No, they won't get penalised. I shouldn't think for that. It's basically a straightforward swap. First to second, you're on board with Colin Turkington now. He's lost the lead, but remember, the BMW works its tyres well, and it may be that his car gets quicker relative to the Vauxhall as we go through the rest of this race. Fantastic shot. I love this camera view. You can see the car ahead sliding the back end of the Vauxhall, just slithering. And remember, 130 miles an hour they're doing through these corners.
Yeah, very, very quick. I mean, Giovanardi, obviously having lost some of the weight for the first race, really got his dander up. Turkington has got more weight. Let's watch it. Very, very late on the brakes, Giovanardi around the outside. Turkington tries to match him, runs slightly into him, pushes them wide. They have no option but to follow each other through.
This was, yeah, sensible in a way from both of them. The little light touch there. They were so on the limit on the brakes. Fantastic. That was the view from onboard Darren Turner, and it didn't really hurt him at all. The two leaders swapped round. His position has remained the same.
Yeah, interesting on board from Darren Turner. The clout as it hit the curbs is louder than the engine noise on that car.
Yeah, the diesel is so quiet. It whispers its way around this Thruxton circuit, and as you say, the bang across the curbs is the most noise it makes. A little bit of a lock-up from Turner there, running in third. We're on board with him again. Again, listen. Again, it's the rumble that you hear over the curb. The engine just producing that little bit of a whisper as he comes out onto the high-speed sections here.
Yeah, these cars are fitted, some of them with four-way adjustable shock absorbers, some of the most advanced shock absorber systems you can find anywhere in motor racing to control the weight of these cars as they go across the bumps. Indeed, some of the the Ginetta Junior drivers tried to take the curbs away the touring car guys did and ended up rolling their cars. But
look at Plato, he's gradually picking up places and he's trying to get past Stephen Jelly. Stephen Kane has already got past Jelly. Kane up ahead of these, and now goes Plato, he gets past as well. Good move from, he is so fired up after being pushed back down the grid. He's got past Gordon Shedden as well. Shedden now trying to follow or through, and you're riding on board with Gordon Shedden as here goes Plato trying to get past Stephen Kane. Well, look how fast that Seat is up the straight. He's got it well and truly finished before he has to brake.
Yeah, not only he had two advantages there, he had a good run through Church and obviously the superior top speed of the Seat, and as you say, he was past Kane before they got to the braking area, and Shedden doing his best to follow through.
Jason Plato now in 8th place, brilliant, having started right at the back of this grid in 24th position. He's up to 8th, and we've still got a little way to go in this race. Riding on board Shedden, now attacking Stephen Kane in the Motorbase BMW, trying to go around the outside into the complex. Kane knows that move and he cuts it off. Good effort that by Stephen Kane. Gordon Shedden trying to recover, trying to come down the inside, and he may have done that. Yeah, little mistake that time from Stephen Kane. Left the door open, and he's also left the door open to Stephen Jelly.
Well, Kane had the back end hanging out halfway through the complex. Maybe there was a little bit of contact, but in a rear-wheel drive car, you have no option but to lift off the throttle in that situation to let the car grip again. A front-wheel drive car will just keep it buried, but obviously he lost momentum, and through went Shedden and Jelly.
And also coming up now is Andrew Jordan. He's part of that group, despite that incident earlier on. He's at the back. Here's the battle for second. Darren Turner on the outside there. The yellow and green Seat trying to go around the Turkington. Has he done it? Side by side. They're still side by side. And Turkington has to give way, but then the Seat is over the curve. And he holds up the Vauxhall, a little bit of Matt Neal. So Turner tries to take second. He could lose third. He could lose fourth. Tom Onslow Cole. It's three abreast into Allard. Corner. And Onslow Cole just has to back out of it. Darren Turner's... Oh, they've made contact. Surely they're not going to survive that. How did they get back on?
Well, they actually haven't lost much, not much room, but so welcome to the British Autocross Championship, and Matt Neal and Darren Turner starring in it.
That was incredible. I've seen cars off before there, Tim, and you have too, and had massive accidents in that part of the track.
Yeah, fortunately they seem to run side by side rather than have any sort of front to rear contact, so they managed to maintain their trajectory forward, but amazing amount of grip on the dry grass there.
Just as well it hasn't rained. I tell you what, it would have been a different story otherwise. Now Turner under attack from Jackson. Matt Jackson on the charge now in the white BMW. So Darren Turner, who just a moment ago, was trying to get second place. Look how quickly things change. You go for one move, and then everybody else takes advantage. There's the race leader, Giovanardi, Turkington. Third place now, Onslow Cole. Fourth place, Matt Neal. It's a complete change around here, and now they're all still looking for places. Look in the background, you'll see Jason Plato. He's got quite a gap now to catch these two, as Adam Jones on the outside in the silver and red Team Air Cool car trying to go around the outside of Jackson, but Jackson fends him off.
Yeah, very close racing, fantastic dicing, and as you say, poor old Darren Turner getting absolutely mugged. He looked like he gained that position on the brakes into the chicane, but just lost all his momentum coming out. Alan Taylor's off.
Yeah, Alan Taylor, a big spin. That's one of the high-speed sections of the circuit, and he's got off to the inside. So I hope he's going to be able to rejoin with a bit of luck, and we might be able to take a look at it.
He's got on the marbles on the way in, lost the rear, overcorrected it, and then obviously just slid along the grass. And well, that's a brown trouser moment.
Absolutely. But luckily he didn't hit anything or anybody else. This is onboard Darren Turner. Now, this was when they were all going in side by side. You had Matt Neal there. Oh, and that's when they ran onto the grass and just missed the edge of the barrier. The barrier is close to the track there, but that was how Tom Onslow
Great onboard footage that, and yeah, just a little bit of contact. You could see Matt Neal with the wheels turned to the right, trying to keep the thing in a straight line. They both did an excellent job there.
Giovinardi kicking up the dust. Remember, we're still wary of the possibility of punctures. If they use the curbs a lot in the early part of the race and push very hard, then there is a potential for punctures. We saw it for Gordon Shedden earlier on today. He was perhaps a little hard on the car, or perhaps they ran a little bit more of a risky camber angle. It's all up to the setup that the team chooses to run as well. There's Michael Doyle in trouble, and it looks as though his race is all over. He's dropped a bit of oil at the chicane. It looks as though everyone else has got through the chicane okay. Always a bit of a worry when you hear that there's oil down. Giovinardi not worried about anything. He's leading this race by 1.1 seconds. And you know what? He's heading for a possible win number 4 of the season. Still a little way to go, and he's still got to look after those tyres. On board with Turkington in second.
Yeah, as you say, long way to go. Race distance now 19 laps because of the safety car, but I think that Turkington is going to keep the pressure on at least till the end of this race. And oil at the chicane, I hope we haven't got it. It's a common occurrence if people leap over the chicanes in front-wheel drive cars and tear the sump off, but I hope they aren't going to experience that when they get there.
So through Goodwood, we're still riding with Colin Turkington here, heading downhill slightly, down towards the church corner. Listen to the engine here. Comes off the throttle, and then it's very progressive back on the power. He doesn't just floor the throttle again, does he?
No, you can't lift off the throttle suddenly, and you can't floor the throttle suddenly. You have to blend off the throttle and blend back on again, otherwise you upset the weight transfer of the car too much.
Little lock up from Giovinardi ahead, but he's trying to not use the curve too much. And he's quick through the chicane nonetheless. The gap between the two will be much the same, I think, as they cross the line this time. But look at third place, man, Tom Onslow Cole. He's definitely caught up over that last lap, and he could potentially be lapping faster than the Team RAC BMW just ahead of him. It's Matt Neal still running 4th. Then in 5th place is Darren Turner in the Seat. 5th place, then 6th place for Matt Jackson, 7th place for Adam Jones, 8th place for Jason Plato. Then the first of the Team Halfords cars, that's Gordon Shedden, he's running in 9th, and then it's Andrew Jordan in the final point scoring position in 10th place ahead of Stephen Jelly. Tom Chilton in the second of the Team Halfords car, he's down in 12th place after that earlier spin.
Yeah, Onslow Cole, his perseverance and patience has paid off, hasn't it? After his bad start, he was very calm when we spoke to him inside the car, and his perseverance has paid off because he's now got himself up to 3rd and is definitely pushing hard on Turkington. And this is a real strong performance because don't forget Onslow Cole did the first race with no balance. He's doing this one with maximum balance. So full marks to Tom for his performance so far.
Well, I tell you what, he's been so impressive this season, joining Vauxhall, having moved from the team that runs that car right ahead of him from last year. He was in a Team RAC car last year, and now here he is with Vauxhall, and he's adapted to the Vectra so brilliantly, and taking that race victory earlier today, as you say, now carrying maximum ballast and putting his former teammate under some serious pressure here across the line. That's 14 laps completed. We're on to lap 15 now, out of 19. Still a little way to go. Onslow Cole in the second of the Vauxhalls, then Matt Neal right behind Tom Onslow Cole, then Darren Turner still in the Seat in 5th place, but not quite as close to the Vauxhalls as he was earlier. Nice little race this coming through the complex. Tom Onslow Cole does have to keep a little bit of an eye on his mirrors. Matt Neal, of course, double champion. He'll always take advantage of any little slip up. And his record here at Thruxton, Matt Neal's not as strong perhaps as some of the other circuits he's raced at, but he'll always take advantage if you offer the little opening, and Tom Onslow Cole must be ready for that.
Yeah, and obviously Matt Neal has the lighter of these 3-car group. He's only carrying 9 kilos. Turkington's 36 and Onslow Cole's 46, and it does make a difference in these latter stages of the race.
Definitely. Fastest lap has gone to, that was a while ago, to Fabrizio Giovinardi, the race leader. And again, second place, Tom Onslow Cole had a better run out of church. The BMW was running wide, but he wasn't able to take advantage of it. So here we are, back on board with Tom Onslow Cole, winner earlier. He's running in 3rd place at the moment. Can he find a way past Colin Turkington's? Not quite close enough there, but the BMW twitching around under braking. You can really see these cars on the limit at Thruxton, and that's why this track is a favourite for drivers and spectators alike. The viewing opportunities up there at the chicane are brilliant. You can always see when a driver is absolutely on the limit, and these guys are. Let me tell you again, look at Turkington's car, weaving and bobbing through Allard corner, now up towards the complex, hard on the brakes here. See the tyre marks where everybody gets a little bit of a lock-up on the way into the complex. Second part here, not using too much curve, trying to get the flow now into the fast sequence of corners. Turkington looked tidy there.
Yeah, Turkington very tidy. All the cars braking in the middle of the road on the approach to that to get the car as flat as possible, to brake in as straight a line as possible. Also covers the inside a little bit, and as you say, working on momentum through the three corners to a really good exit. Look at the amount of curb there Onzo Cole's taking.
Yeah, very huge amount. Then in the background, Darren Turner and Matt Jackson battling. Meanwhile, Jason Plato still running in 8th place, but he's got Gordon Shedden pretty close behind. Again, Turkington, look at sliding, slipping, sliding. He's on the grass. That's real commitment. Has he got the inside covered? No, because Onzo Cole's there. He sneaks alongside. Turkington could do nothing about it, and if he's not careful, he'll lose not just 1 but 2 places. The Vauxhalls are going to gang up on him, and here comes Onzo Cole. He's through. Little nudge. Matt Neal's going to try and follow. Can't quite do it. Turkington back to 3rd. Onzo Cole into 2nd, and Matt Neal wants to make it a Vauxhall 1, 2, 3. It's on the cards. Vauxhall could take over the whole podium here.
Well, Matt Neal was desperately looking for a way through to follow Onzo Cole, but there just wasn't a gap, and he did well not to hit anybody, but obviously he didn't manage to get through. But Turkington under real pressure now, and Matt Neal looking up the inside, just misses the back, turning into the right hand of the complex. Turkington's run a little bit wide. Matt Neal's getting, oh, that was a contact, no doubt about that.
Oh, it's getting mean now. You're looking back at the front grille. I thought we might see some damage on it there of Matt Neal, but look behind him. Darren Turner has gone alongside suddenly, and he's easing alongside, and he's gone the outside for the next corner, so surely that's going to favour Matt Neal in the Vauxhall. But look how much this is costing them. They've dropped away just a little bit now from Colin Turkington, but they might come back at him on the exit of Goodwood.
Well, that was great side-by-side racing through that Nova corner. That's 125 miles an hour. Matt Neal saw him in the mirrors. Fortunately, he can still use his mirrors. They're not flattened sideways, and gave room for side-by-side racing. And look at, he's got to run again through Church. That seems to be where Turkington's really struggling, through Church.
Yeah, but Turkington wasn't quite as wide this time, and he's managed to cover the inside line, which is what he failed to do last time. To Tom Onzo Cole, Matt Neal just locking brakes. I thought he might run into the back of that car again, but he doesn't. And so far, so good. Turkington coming around. 17 laps completed, 2 laps to go. Can Turkington prevent Vauxhalls making it whitewash in the second race of the day here at Thruxton? Well, he's trying valiantly, but at the moment, Matt Neal potentially quicker, still sitting there in 4th place.
Yeah, and up in front of this fantastic battle, Onzo Cole is less than half a second behind Giovanardi. Less than half a second, but I can't believe he's going to challenge him, because Vauxhall, even at this stage of the season, will obviously be looking at Giovanardi for the championship. So I'm sure Onzo Cole will hold position, and Vauxhall will hope that Neal will get past Turkington for that 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, but it's impressive, as you say, from Onzo Cole to be that close now to the race leader. Looking at the battle for 3rd still between the Team RAC car of Colin Turkington, and there Matt Neal, former double champion, and he's one of the hardest racers out there, is Matt Neal, and if he ever sees even half a chance, he'll go for it. We've seen him do it a number of times, and particularly he loves the sort of last corner, last lap lunge. We're not on the last lap yet, but we will be next time around. And again, Turkington tries not to go too wide on the exit of Church, and again, this time he's covered it well, and there's no opportunity for Matt Neal to draw alongside.
No, well, if this is looking back, obviously, from Giovanardi, Onzo Cole, and if ever you wanted, looking back from Turkington and Matt Neal, but ahead of this, if ever you wanted a race to announce Tom Onzo Cole as one of the finest touring car drivers, this is it, because he has closed on Fabrizio Giovanardi, the champion, to within half a second, and he's carrying maximum ballast.
He is, yes, he's close. But I wonder how much here Onzo Cole's going to go on the attack of the race leader, or is he going to sort of try and get him? Oh, and here's Matt Neal. He's got alongside nearly Turkington for 3rd, but no, can't quite do it. Turkington's still just there. Behind them is Darren Turner and Matt Jackson, and Adam Jones still running 7th. Jason Plato is still in 8th. It's all about the battle for 3rd and 4th, though. Is it going to be a Vauxhall 1, 2, 3, or is Colin Turkington going to prevent them by keeping the orange car ahead? Giovanardi and Onslow Cole are well away, but it's this next four we've got to keep an eye on here. Turkington, Matt Neal, then Darren Turner, and then Matt Jackson. And Jackson in the white BMW at the back of this group. Watch him too, he could spring a surprise.
Well, this is coming up to Church. This is where Matt Neal will have his best chances, where Turkington struggled the most. Oh, Giovanardi's gone off, he's got a puncture. Giovanardi's got a puncture.
Well spotted, Timmy's off, the race leader's off, and Onslow Cole's heading for 2 out of 2. The championship leader in huge trouble on the exit of Church. The tyre's given way on the last lap, and Tom Onslow Cole is going to take his second win of the day. Remarkable stuff from the youngster, but Colin Turkington, I think, has done just enough to fend off Matt Neal. Brilliant racing from all of these guys. Onslow Cole wins again. Turkington takes second. Third goes to Matt Neal. Fourth goes to Darren Turner. Jackson is fifth. Jones is sixth. Plato takes seventh. And Tom Onslow Cole. Well, he can't quite believe that one. And look at this, battles all the way. Stephen Kane trying to get across in front of one of the Jordans. I think Stephen Kane's going to come through in, 13th place in the end? Yes, it is. Rob Collard 14th, and Mike Jordan there in 15th place. But it's victory again for Vauxhall. It's victory once again for Tom Onslow Cole, but disaster for Fabrizio Giovanardi.
Giovanardi has no one to blame but himself. We mentioned it on at the start of the race. He walloped the curb at the start of the chicane on the first lap. He should take a leaf out of Tom Onslow Cole's book. He was patient, he was sensible, he stayed off the curbs, and without any doubt, Onslow Cole is the best of the three Vauxhall drivers here today. Incredible.
Interesting to see Giovanardi very, very angry, obviously, very upset, but we've seen it happen to many, many cars, many drivers. You've got to manage the tyres, you've got to look after those tyres in the early laps, and whatever, it hasn't quite worked for Giovanardi. So it's Tom Onslow Cole who wins again here at Thruxton. 2 out of 2, fantastic. First time he ever won was earlier today, now he's doubled up. Colin Turkington, a brave second. Matt Neal, a strong third at the end. Darren Turner, fourth. Matt Jackson, fifth. Then Adam Jones in sixth. Jason Plato in seventh, ahead of Gordon Shedden. Andrew Jordan finished in ninth, and Giovanardi still classified in 10th place. Well, remarkable, remarkable race. And Giovanardi there, walking away from his stricken car, that punctured left front tyre, ending his chance of scoring maximum points, and it does mean things will be a bit closer in the championship. And look at Onslow Cole. He was 7th coming into this meeting. He's now 2nd. Amazing. He's ahead of Matt Neal. Jason Plato there did score a few points despite starting at the back, but it could have been a much greater advantage for Giovanardi if it hadn't been for that puncture. And Tom Onslow Cole's move up the order is looking pretty meteoric.